Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? Thank you very much. Good morning and welcome to Cherrybrook Technology High School for the High Achievers Award, which recognises the achievements of the HSC class of the year 2004. Before we commence the assembly this morning, could I ask you all to make sure, please, that your mobile phones are turned off. Could I ask you to please be upstanding for the entrance to the official party and to remain standing for the singing of the national anthem. Thank you. Thank you to Bryony and the jazz band for presenting the national anthem to us. It's with great pleasure now that I welcome to the stage our school captains, Richard and Kareem.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and students of Cherrybrook Technology High School. It is with great pleasure that we welcome you to the school this morning for this special assembly to recognise the special achievements of the students in the 2004 HSC. To the Year 12 of 2004, it gives us particular pleasure to welcome you back to the school and to this hall that was the scene of so much stress, but ultimately the place where you achieved some wonderful triumphs.
In 2003, our school held its first High Achievers Assembly to recognise an elite group of students who achieved an outstanding result in either individual subjects or who achieved a UAI over 19.
Bring up to that
Richard
seat.
and I are currently completing our HSC year, and we, together with the rest of Year 12, are well aware of the giant shoes that you have left for us to fill, and for that, we thank you very much.
As a group, our year and yours got to know each other very well because of the interaction that we were involved in through a number of extracurricular activities. It should be acknowledged that as a group, you not only left a wonderful legacy to the school through your academic exploits, but also through your contributions in so many other areas of school life.
So, on behalf of the whole school community, we'd like to congratulate you and celebrate with you on your achievements. I would now like to invite our president, Mr. Darren Johnson, to address the assembly.
Thanks very much. Karina and Richard, and also thank you to Bione and the jazz band for that tremendous rendition of the anthem to start today's assembly. It really was a great way to start. I'd like to welcome everyone to this most important assembly. In particular, I'd like to welcome our special guest, Mr. John Montgomery, today's guest speaker, the 1997 school captain of Cherrybrook Technology High School. Mrs. Janet Watson, our newly appointed school education director. Mrs. Jo James, manager of our local Commonwealth Bank, and the sponsor of the prize for the students scoring the highest UAI. Mrs. Di Bennett, president of the PNC. Mrs. Anne Fulton-Boot, president of the school council, and of course the outstanding students of year 12 2004, their families and friends who have joined us here today. Today's assembly is very important to our school. It's an opportunity to celebrate the outstanding academic achievements of our class of 2004, a year group which has achieved our best ever academic results. The school, which rightly prides itself on being an extraordinarily successful, comprehensive technology high school, one that I've said many, many times is the best in the state. A school that truly encourages all students to reach their potential. At this point, I should say, actually tracking down each student's position relative to others in the state is not an easy task. And I'd like to thank Mrs. Bevan, Mrs. Aitken and Mr. Summerhays for the work they did, tallying up student marks and making numerous phone calls to determine UAIs and how our students fared in relation to the 68,000 other students who sat to the HSC. As principal of Cherrybrook High School, I must say that I take great pleasure in seeing each of these young achievers from the class of 2004 return to this most important day. As they and their parents know, I closely track the progress of these students from the time I first arrived at the school. It's been wonderful to see so many students reach their potential and in fact exceed the very high expectations that the school and I had for each of them. Since the HSC results were released, I've had the opportunity to speak with many of these young men and women and quite a few of their parents. These conversations have reinforced that student success in the HSC lies in three areas. Firstly, and most importantly, it lies with the students themselves. This group, without question, amongst the most driven students that I've ever had the pleasure of working with. Confidential Department of Education documentation shows that as a cohort, their improvement at every stage of their development was greater than virtually any other comparable group in the state. This was particularly so in their senior years and is a tribute to the tremendous effort that they put into their studies. However, despite their application, the students could not have achieved these wonderful results on their own. Their teachers, their year advisors and stage head teachers must also be congratulated. I, along with the parents and successful students, am absolutely certain that the knowledge, commitment, skill and caring manner of the staff played a vital role in the academic achievement of these young people. I say this clearly recalling the way staff provided holiday lessons, additional before and after school classes, and the way staff gave up hours and hours of their precious time, marking additional, often emailed practice essays and assignments sent on many occasions at very late hours of an evening, and with students hoping for and usually receiving almost instant feedback. The students here today have truly reaped the rewards of the dedication and effort of Cherrybrook's marvellously talented staff. The third and final part of the success equation is to be found in the support and encouragement provided by the families of these young people in an often very difficult and demanding year. Without such support, success for any student is not impossible, but it's certainly very, very difficult. And success is what this group has achieved. Last year, 5 students achieved results which led to each of them being recognised at yesterday's Premier's All-Rounders Award. Grace Choi, Lucy Kim, Mason Marley, Sandia Sharma and Preeti Sundaram all obtained results which saw them score in the top band in all of their courses of study. Pleasingly, their efforts led to Cherrybrook being the best represented co-educational comprehensive high school at that state awards ceremony. An outstanding effort. Along with these 5 very high achievers, we also have students who are among the top 10 students in 5 courses of study and over 55 students whose UAI placed them in the top 10% of the state, including 6 students who scored a UAI in excess of 99. We also have had over 1/3 of the class of 2004 recognised in the Board of Studies Honours List, as well as students selected for On-Stage, Art Express and the Young Writers Showcase. An outstanding achievement from an extraordinarily talented group of individuals. In this diverse group, who will soon be presented with their recognition certificates, there is clear evidence of the strength of our school and the opportunities available, with students achieving Band 6 in all KLA areas. In fact, students from our school reach the upper echelons in over 30 separate courses of study. I'm pleased to say I know of very few other schools that can boast such a diverse range of achievement. While the recognition of such outstanding performance is the chief focus of today, I feel that this assembly also serves another very, very important role. That is, it allows our successful students to serve as role models for students still at school. It says to each student seated in the audience here today that the school community values and celebrates academic excellence. For the students in the audience, it's a powerful thing to be able to recognise and in many cases know the students who will soon be on stage to collect their awards. For years 7, 11 and 12, what this assembly should clearly demonstrate and say to you is this: with hard work, the right attitude to your studies, you too can be successful. I hope this is something each and every one of you will take away from today's assembly. If you haven't already done so, now's the time to set your academic goals, both short and long term, and work very hard to achieve this, just as last year's very successful HSC candidates did. In closing, I'd like to thank Mrs. Lane and her team for the wonderful job they've done organising this assembly. And on behalf of the entire school community, I'd like to sincerely congratulate our Year 12 2004 high achievers on outstanding success, and wish you all your very, very best, or all the very, very best rather, in future careers. Thank you very, very much.
Ms. Parsons will now introduce the first group of students who are receiving the certificates to commend them for their performance in the 2004 High School Certificate. Students receiving a Distinguished Achievers Award received a Band 6 or the highest band award in the particular course of study. Mr. Johnson will present these certificates. Please reserve your applause till the finest student from each group has been congratulated.
The first students to be congratulated this morning are Mitchell Aitken, Business Studies. Mustafa Afra, Business Studies and Economics UAI, grade 90. Nathan Allison for General Mathematics. Chris Arthur, Engineering Studies. Ragun Babuta, Business Studies and UAI, grade 90. Xerxes Banaji, Business Studies and UAI, grade 90. Abhishek Bansal, Economics, Mathematics Extension 1 and UAI, grade 90. Stuart Lloyd, Mathematics, Personal Development, Health and Physical Education and UAI, grade 90. Amanda Carter, Mathematics, Personal Development, Health and Physical Education and a UAI, grade 90. Karen Kavanagh, Economics, Mathematics and UAI, grade 90. Sidran Chan, Mathematics. Jocelyn Chen, Economics and UAI, grade 90. Grace Chen, Mathematics.
Mathematics, Mathematics Extension 1, Physics, and a UAI greater than 90. Chin Hua Chong, Business Studies, and a UAI greater than 90. No award received by Strava. Regina Chu, a UAI greater than 90. Sana Chu, General Mathematics. Preeti Chu, Mathematics. Chiara Dela Cruz, for French beginners. Laurel Dela Cruz will accept this award on her behalf. Sarah Dean, Extension English 2. Nima Dilagani, Mathematics Extension 1. Berkay Dinsel, General Mathematics. Dilshan, Economic Drama, Business Studies, Economics, Mathematics, and UAI greater than 90. Harriet Edashami, Biology, Legal Studies, Mathematics, and UAI greater than 90. Greg Elliott, Business Studies, Personal Development, Health and Physical Education, Senior Science, and UAI greater than 90. Malik Engel, for Industrial Technology. Ingrid Isley, Business Studies and General Mathematics. Irene Halforti, Society and Culture, and UAI greater than 90. Asantha Hettich, Information Processes and Technology, and a UAI greater than 90. Lewis Hill, Business Studies, Chemistry, Mathematics, Mathematics Extension 1, Physics, and a UAI greater than 90. Marcus Hill, collecting award for. Craig Hoskins, General Mathematics. Cherry Tsu, French beginners, Japanese continuers. Veronica Hugh, Industrial Technology. Irene J. Wadena, Ancient History, English Advanced, English Extension 2, and a UAI greater than 90. Malhan Jeff Gleason, Business Studies, English Advanced, English Extension 2, and a UAI greater than 90. PJG, Japanese Continuous and Japanese Extension, James Junior Collecting Award. Angela King, Angela King, Japanese Continuous, Japanese Extension, and UAI greater than 90. Young Kim, Japanese Continuous and Japanese Extension. Nick King, Business Studies, Chemistry, Mathematics, Physics, and UAI greater than 90. Nathan Klein, General Mathematics. Howard Lamb, Mathematics. Shirley Lamb, Mathematics, Mathematics Extension 1. Nicholas Marin, Information Processes and Technology, Mathematics, and a UAI greater than 90. Christian Larson, Information Processes and Technology. The award is to be received by his brother Ryan. Frankie Lau, Economics, Legal Studies, Mathematics and Accounting. Sarah Lee, Mathematics Extension 1, Music 2, Music Extension, Japanese Beginners and a UAI greater than 90. Please show your appreciation.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson and Ms. Parsons. We now have the 2004 Dance Ensemble Award and a winner. Thank you, Jess and Sonny, for that fantastic performance. I would now like to ask Mr. Saunders to introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Joel Holden.
Joel today. Joel and I both started at school at the same time, me as an original member of staff, and Joel in our first year 7. So in 1992, he was in year 7, and then he became school captain in 1997. After leaving school, he spent most of it in 1998 on the satellite tennis circuit. However, he found it to be a little bit more difficult than expected. During this time, he also worked as a part-time tennis coach. In 1999, he started a Bachelor of Science and Computer Studies at the University of Technology in Sydney. He chose to complete these studies part-time, and he's now at the stage of just about to finish. So 6 years part-time, a long slog, but well worth it. In 1999, Joel also gained part-time employment with a security company called Trend Micro. Realising his potential, the company offered him full-time employment working as an account executive and in the marketing area. In 2003, Joel began working at Dell Computers, first as a product manager, and now as a printer strategy manager for the Asia Pacific region. Joel has achieved a great deal since leaving school. He's a fine example of a well-rounded, focused, past student at AHS. Please join me in welcoming our guest speaker, Joel Marshall. Thanks, Mr. Someplace. Okay, so I'm not the school captain that scored 100 UAI. In fact, I did significantly worse than that. I am the school captain. I don't know whether you guys have dance parties anymore, but I am the school captain that didn't organise the DJ properly at the school dance, and so I remember everyone waiting around at about 8 o'clock for the DJ to come, and one of the teachers having a great idea that she may go home and get her stereo. And so she brought it back and sat it there, and it was dead set this big, and pressed play and no one could hear anything. So there wasn't much dancing that we had that night, and that was the first dance party that I think crashed and burned, and I was the one that was heading that up. So I don't think I had the best reign as school captain. However, what I thought I might do today is give you a little bit of an idea of what I've done since that time, and then come back and tie it back to school and what I think is important. And you guys might think what I'm saying is important or it's not important, but I've got your time for 5 minutes, so sorry about that. So to start, when I left school, I somehow convinced my parents that I didn't have to do university straight away, and instead that I was potentially a good enough tennis player to make it, but it wasn't the case. So what I actually did was I took 6 months, the plan was to take a year off. I took six months off and I tried my hardest at the tennis circuit. So I woke up at 10 a.m. and I got to the courts at 11 and I finished at 12, and I went home and played PlayStation, and then my sister came home from university, and to put it this way, I could have probably put more effort into it. In the meantime, I played a fair bit of tournaments, and my highlight was getting to train with Yelena Dokic and Leighton Hewitt, who progressed a little bit further than I did. And so I did that for 6 months, and in the meantime, I probably had the worst period of my career in terms of working at Pizza Hut, which I got fired from, and also to being a tennis coach, which it was okay. So I did that for 6 months, and then there was this little ad in the paper when I was playing a tournament. My parents called up and said, "You've got to go for this job, you've got to start making money, you can't continue to sponsor your tournaments when you're not making it past the 3rd round." So I took up the advice, I went to the interview, and I got a job at a company called Trend Micro, as Ms. Dunlap at Summer Hayes said. And so the role started off as admin, working on the switchboard, and I was no good at that either. I remember the 3rd week into the job, I'm not really painting a good picture yet, but I promise I'll try to improve. 3 weeks into the job, I'd never used a paper shredder before, and so I didn't know how many pieces of paper you could put in the paper shredder. So I put maybe 30 or 40, and I think the maximum was 10. And it crunched, and it got halfway and stopped, and I didn't know what to do because I didn't want to get in trouble after the first, or be seen in a poor light after the first 3 weeks of work. So I decided that what I might do is light it and burn the paper, because it's a good idea, right? You burn the paper, and then no problem, then I'll just go back to my desk as per usual. But I wasn't really so familiar with the fire alarm system, so it set off the alarm, and there was a fair few flames, and so everyone got evacuated from the building, and so that wasn't a great start to the career in IT. But I moved, after my boss I think realised that I was no good at admin, he moved me into a sales role, and I took a role of account executive for Melbourne and New Zealand. So my job was basically to go and talk to customers about security software and their security needs, and do it on site. So I meant a couple of flights to New Zealand, which was great. But every time I turned up to a meeting, they're like, "What is this 20-year-old trying to tell me what to do about my security for an IT infrastructure?" So I tried to grow a beard, and that didn't work. I tried to grow my hair, and I looked like a bit of an idiot. So I basically just did my time in the sales role. I enjoyed it. I learned a fair bit about IT and about communicating with the customer and everything like that. But it was definitely not something that I'd ever practiced prior to that. I think it was a combination of preparation and opportunity, which they term as luck, that I got a job in marketing. So I moved across to marketing and started learning about how to communicate to the media, and my boss put me in front of CNN to talk about the love letter virus. I don't know whether you remember that one in 2000, and once again I thought I looked pretty silly in front of CNN, but it was a great opportunity to get some public relations skills. And after that I stayed in that role for a couple of years, and then in IT, if you stay in any company longer than 2 years, people think that you've got some problem and that you can't seem to progress in the industry and you can't get a job outside of that company. So with that as a motivator, I guess, I looked in the paper and looked on the web, and I got a job at Dell. And Dell is just a fantastic company, and I'm not really doing a pitch for them either, but it's a company where everyone is pretty much very motivated. Between the ages of 25 and 35 is the majority of it. And there's a lot of drinking and enjoyment to be had, but at the same time, there's a lot of learning because the company adapts so quickly to the market. we have an opportunity to really get involved in all aspects of the business. So my role began as a brand manager, which meant I travelled interstate and presented on our product set, which is the combination of flat panels, those new cool flat panels, the projectors that you guys probably have at the school, little handhelds and everything, and my role was to pitch on those products. And then recently I moved into a printer strategy role. So my role now is taken a good step forward in terms of being able to get complete visibility of Asia Pacific Japan. And so essentially what I do now is I look at the market, I decide how many printers I think we can sell and what printer we can sell across the region. I decide on what printers to launch and how many we think we can sell, at what price, and then I get hung if I don't make the number, or if the sales team and marketing team don't make the number. But the role involves a lot of travel, so at the moment I'm travelling, I just got back from Malaysia and I'm travelling to Japan and the US and EMEA. And my advice is if you have a role that allows you to travel, or you have an option to stay in Australia or do a lot of travelling, choose in Australia, because it's actually quite lonely being on the road, and you can't believe how many times you have dinner by yourself and people look at you as if you've got a few problems. So the role teaches you a lot, you get a lot of cultural visibility, which is great, but it is quite lonely when you're doing a lot of travelling. So there's a lot of positives and negatives. So anyway, tying this back to school and what I did at school, what I found in IT particularly is that the smarter you are in terms of your IT knowledge, the less you get paid, which is a little bit bizarre, but it's true. Unfortunately, I don't think this is the way it should work, but the technicians get paid about 3 times less than the salespeople. They get paid about half as much as the management. So, depending on how much pay is a motivator for you, hopefully not too much, hopefully it's more about self-fulfillment, etc., whatever that means. But I think my advice would be, if you don't think you're that technical, you don't think you're the most intelligent person at school, it really doesn't matter so much. As Mr. Summerhay said, I'm about to finish a computer science course, which has taken 6 years part-time. So it's a course that you do 2 nights a week, and it's a massive amount of pain. But I think what I've learned is that you can learn about 5 times as much at work, but what you don't get through work that you probably do, or you definitely do through both school and university, is the ability to stay motivated, to strive to continue to achieve some goal and push yourself towards achieving that goal. And also, I think the social aspects are really important. So, at school, my advice is you don't have to get the best marks in the world. In fact, you can get very average marks. But if you set yourself goals, whether they be study 1 hour a day or 1 hour a week, I can't remember what the plan is. And if you also motivate yourself, so if you say I'm going to do this now, you do it now. If you learn how to interact with people, it makes such a big difference, because if you can't interact, you progress to a certain level and you can't get any further. So if you can inspire people, whether it be in the playground or your classroom, but don't get in trouble, don't do it in front of teachers. If you motivate yourself and if you strive to achieve your goals and you hit those goals, and I think that doesn't matter what career you do, you'll be a success. So I can't say that I'm really a success at all. I think there were probably 10 phone calls made and I was the 10th phone call to come up and have a chat with you. But I've definitely seen a lot of people, both at my school in my year, achieve great goals, and they weren't necessarily the brightest kids at school, but they knew what to do and they did it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Joel. Mr. Todd will now introduce the second group of students to be commended this morning. Joel and Marie will present these certificates.
Good morning, welcome back. Our second group of students to be congratulated this morning are Michael Lim, Economics and Mathematics Extension 1. Elizabeth Lipper, Business Studies, Economics and Economics, also for UAI over 90. The award is being received by her sister Catherine. Elizabeth has also received a University of Technology Sydney Accounting Scholarship. This is a very prestigious award with applicants coming across Australia. Congratulations, Elizabeth, on your fine achievement. Tenki Liu, for Japanese Continuous and Japanese Extension. Petra Labrenzi for General Mathematics. Thomas Lowe for Business Studies. Iris Wood for Mathematics Extension 1 and 2. Nadia Matha for Hindi Continuous. Sam McIntosh, he's here, for English Advanced, English Extension 1, Legal Studies, General Mathematics, Personal Development, Health and Physical Education, and Sam also received the UAI over 90. Hayley Muir for Drama, and she also received the UAI above 90. Darren Nair for Mathematics and the UAI over 90. Curtis Ng for Mathematics Extension 1, and he also received the UAI above 90. Richard No for Mathematics Extension 1, Japanese Continuous and Japanese Extension. Andrew O for Mathematics Extension 1, Mathematics Extension 2 and Japanese Continuous. June Park for Mathematics Extension 1, Japanese Continuous, Japanese Extension, and June also received the UII above 90. Joy Chu for Mathematics Extension 1. Elise Reedy for Geography, Mathematics, and Elise also received the UII above 90. Gemma Ryan for Ancient History, English Extension 2, Modern History, and Gemma received the UII above 90. Andrew Schilling for Chemistry, Mathematics, Mathematics Extension 1, Physics, and Andrew received the UII above 90. Jordan Scott for Mathematics, Visual Arts. Jordan also received the UII above 90, and apparently his award will be selected by Simone Scott. Yeah. Kim Scott for Advanced English, Legal Studies, Mathematics Extension 1, Mathematics Extension 2, and Kim also received the UII above 90. Sarah Serkin for Food Technology, General Mathematics, and the UII above 90. Rowan Sharma for Mathematics, and Rowan received the UAI above 90. Vashti Singh for Ancient History, Mathematics, and the UAI above 90. Nathan Smith for General Mathematics. Donna So for Biology, French Beginners, Accounting, and Donna received the UAI above 90. Tiffany So for Economics, English Advanced, English Extension 2, Mathematics, and Visual Arts. Julie Song for Music 2, Music Extension, French Beginners, and a UAI above 90, and Julie's award is being collected by Jamie Choi. Susan Stapp for Community and Family Studies. Janendra Subasinghe for Economics, Physics, and Janendra also got a UAI above 90. Andrew Weck for Chemistry, Drama, Mathematics, Mathematics Extension 1, Physics, and Andrew received the UAI above 90. Andrew has also received the University of New South Wales Co-op Scholarship in Materials Engineering. There are over 700 other applicants for these scholarships, and Andrew is a very worthy recipient. Congratulations. Beatrice Tang, Food Technology. Sean Tay for Business Studies, Economics, Information Processes and Technology, and Mathematics. Sean also received the UAI above 90. Vaughan Thompson for Ancient History. Megan Thorpe for Agriculture, Biology, Business Studies, Advanced English, and Megan also received the UAI above 90. Lisanne Ting for English Advanced, English Extension, Mathematics Extension 1, Mathematics Extension 2, and Lisanne also got a UAI above 90. Sam Marie Van Heerden, General Mathematics. Jana van der Weeg for Ancient History. Louise van der Weeg will be accepting this award for her sister. Amanda White for General Mathematics. Edwin Wong for Economics. Edwin also received the UAI above 90. And Harold Yeo for Economics, Advanced English, Accounting, and also UAI above 90. Please join me in congratulating these fantastic.
Thank you, Mr. Todd. We would now like to make a special presentation to John Montgomery in appreciation of the time he has given up to be with us today and for the insights he has shared. We'd like to thank him. We now have the pleasure of hearing the jazz band performing Stomping at the Circle.
you to the jazz band for their performance today. Mrs. Bevan will now introduce our highest achieving students. Miss Janet Watson, the School Educational Director for Hornsby, will present these certificates.
It gives me great pleasure to announce these recipients. The top achievers in the course to be congratulated this morning are May Somali. May came fourth in English Extension 2 in the state, but received a mark of 50 out of 50. Geography, she was equal second in the state. Modern history, equal second in the state. Maybe the 50 out of 50. Lucy came equal ninth in the state in business studies. Let's congratulate Lucy. We also had one other recipient, Beatrice Tang. Beatrice was unable to be here today, but she came equal 10th in the state in food technology. So maybe we'll give Beatrice a couple. Achieved Band 6 in 5 2-unit courses. All students received a UAI above 90 and are to be congratulated on their outstanding achievement. Students receiving this award are Grace Moon Chung Choi. She achieved Band 6 in Chemistry, in English Advanced, in Mathematics Extension 1, Mathematics Extension 2, Japanese Continuous, Japanese Extension. Grace is currently studying medicine overseas and was unable to attend today's assembly, but Jamie is going to collect her award for you. Please congratulate her. Lucy King. Lucy achieved Band 6 in Business Studies, in Chemistry, in English Advanced, in English Extension 1, in Legal Studies and Modern History. Lucy has received International Law Scholarship at Sydney University. Congratulations, Lucy. May Somali. May have achieved Band 6 in Drama, in English Advanced, in English Extension 1, English Extension 2, Geography, Legal Studies and Modern History. At Sydney University. Congratulations, May. Both May and Lucy are deserving recipients of these prestigious scholarships. They are extremely hard-working students. Sandhya Sharma. Sandhya achieved Band 6 in Ancient History, in English Advanced, in English Extension 1, English Extension 2, Mathematics, Modern History and Visual Art. Judy Sunderland also achieved Band 6 in Ancient History, in Economics, in English Advanced, in Mathematics and Japanese Continuous. Judy is unable to be here today as she's in the United States at the moment. Please congratulate these students.
Thank you, Ms. Watson and Mrs. Bevan, for presenting these awards. I would like to ask Mr. Bruce to introduce the Commonwealth Bank Award to the student from 2004 who received the highest UAI. The presentation will be made by Mrs. Jo James, who is the manager of the Commonwealth Bank in Cherokee.
Thank you. At today's ceremony, we've had the opportunity to acknowledge and celebrate the excellence achieved by so many of our students in last year's HSC. The recipient of the next award is a young lady who has in so many ways redefined the word excellence. If UAIs were to be decided purely upon commitment, unwavering resolve and steely determination, she would definitely have scored a UAI of 100. But as we all know, UAIs are not determined on such intangibles. Rather, they're the end result of a complicated set of mathematical computations based on the overall performance of a student relative to every other student in the state. And so when the UAI calculations were completed last year, just 19 students out of a total candidature of almost 68,000 who sat the HSC received the perfect UAI, a score of 100. One of those students was our own May Somali, who has become the first CTHS student to achieve a UAI of 100. May's achievement is even more extraordinary when you consider that almost all of the other 18 students who achieved the perfect UAI came from very high-profile selected schools. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite Joe James, Manager of the Commonwealth Bank of Cherrybrook, to present the award to the school's highest UAI to May Somali.
I would now like to call upon May Somali and Sarah McIntosh to respond on behalf of the Year 12 class of 2004.
So life after the HSC is pretty different. We no longer have to wear the red tie. We don't need a constant supply of ballpoint pens anymore. And the days of the rushed breakfasts are long gone. Differences like these are present throughout life. But despite such difference, can similarities still exist?
Well, let's see. Peter Costello and Peter Garrett, from different political divides, have completely different dance moves. Yet they are both Ministers for Parliament. Lakey Hewitt and Kim Clijsters, well, they're from different cultural backgrounds, now have very different wedding plans, though they do look a little similar. Perhaps a slightly stronger similarity, however, exists amongst the Year 12 graduates here today. Although we have different subjects, we had different teachers, and will no doubt go on to very different careers. In one way or another, each graduate achieved terrific results and was able to raise the bar.
Like an Olympic high jumper, the graduates here today, along with the many others who aspired and achieved personal ambitions, trained hard, aimed high, shooting for the moon and jumping over heights previously unimaginable. But, like any successful high jumper, so much help was needed along the way. So on behalf of the graduates of 2004 CTHS, we would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the efforts of our parents, families, friends, teachers, and of course the school, for the outstanding opportunities it provided and the important values it promoted. Thank you for tying our shoelaces so we wouldn't trip over when it was our turn to jump. And thank you for being our high jump cushioning, so that no matter how hard we fell, someone was always supporting us and helping us to our feet.
In the poem Wild Swans of Cool, William Yeats describes a group of beautiful young swans. Year after year they are filled with passion and conquest as they wander mysteriously in a lake. In building their nests, however, these swans are actually preparing to fly away. What do we, as graduates of 2004, have in common with these swans? Well, at first glance, not much. But then, in a sense, we too are part of nature's cycle. We've spent our time in the school lake, and now it's time for us to move on, to fly to new and greater heights.
Like every year group that passes through the school, we look forward to the future with excitement and anticipation. We are confident that the skills and friendships we have developed on this journey will enable us to achieve our personal goals, as well as render service to the world of humanity. We must start thinking now, what contribution will each of us make to our broader society? So regardless of whether we choose to walk down one of life's busy highways or take the road less traveled, we hope that, like Yeats's beautiful swans, we stay young at heart, living a life full of passion and conquest, and never losing sight of the many beauties that life has to offer.
Putting aside all of our differences today, we are similar. Not just for our academic achievements, but for the memories we share together of our time at school. Because no matter which road we may walk down or choose to travel, we believe that it is those great times, rather than a simple mark, that in the end has made all the difference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor Sam. We have now come to the end of this very special assembly. We thank the students from 2004 for returning this morning. Your results are a credit to your commitment and your dedication to your studies. We thank you for the example you have set for us completing the high school certificate this year, and we wish you every success in the future. We would also like to thank our special guests and performers for their participation in today's assembly. I will now call on Mr. Bruce to close the assembly.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, would you join me please in congratulating all our high achievers in the HSC. Now, without question, a group of young men and women in the school is justifiably proud, and we look forward to hearing the wonderful successes that they will undoubtedly achieve in the years ahead. And to our current students, may you be inspired to achieve similar results and take with you the ambition to be a recipient of an award at a future ceremony. I'd now like to take the opportunity to invite Year 12 of 2004, their guests, to join the principal and staff for morning tea in the piazza. Would you please make your way there after the departure of the official party? Could I ask you all now to be upstanding as the official party leaves the stage? If I can now ask our guests to please make their way to the piazza, and if the remaining students from the school could be seated, we will dismiss you shortly.